Welcome back inside the car and welcome to a spectacle of a race. This is such a good race and this is what Race Room Ranked Racing is all about. Of course, this is with the Tutus F4 Abarth and this is with the rookie content. Hockenheimring. You can't go wrong. Now we qualified in 5th. Lights on the screen. I'm ready. I'm not that ready. You can't jump the start, so you might as well just floor it. But I managed to mess it up. I don't know why I lifted. What was I thinking? So as a result, we've dropped a place back there. And on this circuit, you do not want that because you're going to get ploughed in the arse from the car that's going up the inside. Really important on that first corner, T1, on this track to really be aware of a car going up the inside and the car understeering into you. Now I managed to late brake here. I tried to downshift too quickly. That's what that stopwatch sound was. We managed to late brake and go up the inside then. I think you could argue that we murdered that guy. I'm sorry if we did murder him. I think we got through relatively okay. We can have a guilty in the comment section if you think I was guilty or innocent. We'll call it Incident 1. Incident 1, guilty or innocent. If you want to comment with your verdict, type Incident 1 and then guilty or innocent. And you're going to type it. You're all going to type bloody guilty, aren't you? Anyway, we survived it. There was a bit of wheel contact. He lost control. He probably didn't have the power of a direct drive wheel. So he couldn't collect the muscle hustle. So we're back in 5th, or we're still in 5th rather, and we've got this gaggle of speedy boys and possibly girls. I don't know. I can't tell from this distance. Of cars in front of us, and this is where the race is at. This is like the Tour de France front field here, because the back of the grid they're gone. They've gone. They've not got pace. But us 5 up front here, we're at track pace and it's mighty full stuff. As you can see here, H. Rivera, I'm going to get people's names wrong in this repeatedly, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for getting your name. H. Rena and P. Sanchez battling each other like crazy. And of course, this is what's great. If you're not the fastest of drivers, but you're in a little bit loose there, mate. But you're sort of relatively close pace to front, but you've got the guys at front battling, and with a car like this, it's got so much draft, it kind of consolidates things together. It's a bit like the Skip Barber or the Radical in iRacing, or any car that has a lot of draft. It compresses, like the Tour de France, compresses all the cars together, and then also means that the car's going to be battling up front, which then slows them down, which then gives people without any talent like myself an opportunity to have a good race with people that probably have raw hot lap pace, if that makes sense. So anyway, our mission really is to try and capitalise on the mistakes these guys make and get in there. Now what I noticed straight away is that my braking, miracle upon miracle, was better than these guys in front. Somehow my braking was better. I don't know, because normally my braking is awful. I don't brake hard enough. I brake willy-nilly. My braking is it's like my worst skill is braking, which is a shame because it's probably the most important thing for going fast in a race car. But I noticed straight away that we were nailing the brake points, and you could see that by the fact that when it came to the tighter braking zones, we were closing right in on the cars on front and then exiting not too far behind them. So that gave me a huge amount of confidence in that, I'm in it to win it here. So that's really nice if you notice that early on, and then that allows you to sort of strategize in your head. You're like, well, okay, if I can beat them on the braking, I know they're braking too early, I can now think of opportunities of where I can overtake the cars in front or preempt what they're going to do to then position myself to take advantage of it. Man, that almost sounds like a race coach tip. Don't get your coaching advice from me, or do if you like driving into people. Now, again, on that corner, totally loose. I'm having a lot of trouble with that corner. You really want to be taking that nice and smooth rather than flying it around. But what I really like about Race Room is that you can overdrive like you can a real car, and you can feel what the car's doing through the force feedback. So you can overdrive it and then dial it down without your race being totally ruined. Exactly like a real car, in my opinion. You can get away with a lot. It's just slow and it wears the tyres out. So here we go, look at this, we're closed right in on the brakes there, and I know for sure we can carry more momentum there. I've tried to go down the left because I felt like the car on the inside was going faster and I might be able to get on this draft. Unfortunately, the yellow car dropped back, which then allowed him to feed into that gap. So I couldn't do I couldn't follow behind the blue car to get past the yellow car. It's a nice strategy you can do with cars that have a bit of draft. Is if you can position yourself and get the draft of the car that's faster, it will then draft you past the other car to the side. And it's really satisfying when you pull it off. But in this case, we didn't pull it off, so it wasn't satisfying. But look at this. We've got V Santos has gone slow. I don't know what he's doing. He's just learning the track. Why not? He got out of the way. Perfectly fair back marking. Really appreciate back markers that do that. You know, you can be slow. Just don't block the race driver. It doesn't matter if you're a back marker. And it's best to learn in races. So no, you know, I'm not against back markers. I'm not against people that are slow in a race, as long as they do what that guy did, which was don't do anything erratic, pull off the racing line, drive a little bit slower, everyone will get past you. Happy days. Look how loose I am. Now I'm using the full width of the track there. Going to get shouted at by the stewards for track cutting, but it's alright. You've got to push the limits until you dial yourself in. And look at that, we've got way more pace through there than the car in front. I think I had to lift a tiny bit. Next video I do on this, I'll make sure I've got the pedal inputs on the screen so you can see what I'm doing and you can learn what not to do by basically don't do what I do. So we were on them a bit and then they pulled away. I think I backed off it and then that's allowed him to get H Rena's. It's allowed him to get a run down the straight there. But we're still within his draft, we're still on them. We get a way better line through there, get on the throttle sooner, and obviously that's what's really great with a track like this. If you've got a tight corner followed by a long straight, they're the most important corners to nail because you've got a lot of track to capitalise on the exit speed until your car gets up to its maximum speed, obviously. You can see we've got a car behind us, P. Sanchez. I keep looking in my mirrors, keep making sure we're safe from behind. You're not meant to drive from your mirrors, right? Generally, you want to concentrate on driving in front and just pray and hope that the car behind you doesn't pummel your arse. But it's sim racing, and to be honest, even if you watch like BTCC sport races or lower tier racing in real life, it's a good idea to mirror watch, because your arse is going to get pummeled. Get the Vaseline all over the back of your car and you'll have a happier time. But also concentrate in front. I'd say it's kind of like a 70% in front and a bit on the rear. Look in your mirrors, but don't ruin your pace. Look in your mirrors, but stay calm. That corner, every lap is getting worse. But it doesn't matter. So you can see that H. Reiner, I'm sorry guys for getting names wrong, he's pulling away, as is Eslu, and Amini, he's 2.2 seconds off, he's gone. That guy's put gunpowder in his engine, or he's doped our engine. He's put the wrong fuel in our engines. Typical cheating race driver from the 80s. He's probably just quick. I hate fast drivers. But now we're at this point in the race, there's 7 minutes left. You get to that point where after a few laps things calm down a little bit and it's just about getting into the zone, being consistent and really getting the most out of it. When you've got a little bit of space, it allows you to rather than feeling like you're in the popping your head over the trenches, it allows you to walk up and down the trench with a little bit of cover and maybe stick a helmet with a stick above the trench and see if anyone shoots it. You know, try some things out, get into a rhythm, bobsled it like the Jamaican bobsled team, who incidentally are in the next Winter Olympics. This Winter Olympics, I'm supporting them. But so by being calm and then messing it up there, we've actually closed in. A. Manini has absolutely just lost it there. It's a very easy thing to do on that corner. He's gone in too fast, put a wheel on the grass, got on the throttle, spun the rears up, and round she goes, race over. Now, what happened here is that temporarily, X-Files, cars disappeared, they come back again. Sometimes happens on Race Room, it's weird. I don't know, I think it's my connection dropping out when everyone disappears. Fortunately, it wasn't for long. But we're back on the tail of H. Reiner. And P. Sanchez is coming up behind us here. I'm going to go to the inside to defend it. I'd much rather be on the inside of corners when you've got a car coming up behind you. I was a little bit late to my move to the right there, but by being on the inside, you're not going to get pummeled by the car on the inside missing their brake point and driving into you. So in sim racing in particular, especially in iRacing, where the damage is insane and the lag is netcode's insane for contacts, you really want to be on the inside so that you're not going to get hit. Race room is somewhat forgiving, but you still can get hit and get damaged. Now those two cars managed to get through there, but we've got a good line through there. We're carrying the speed. Now I've pushed him wide. That was really cheeky of me. P Sanchez has been P squeezed, but that managed to keep us in front of him. The thing is now, with 5 minutes left on the clock, I really don't want to be defending so much that I'm losing all my pace for the cars in front, because I'm in it to win it. So you have to kind of think, especially with cars with a bit of draft, is it worth defending and losing your time to the cars in front, or is it actually worth not defending? And that's always going to depend on how fast the cars behind you are. If you know they're at the pace to compete with the cars in front, a lot of the time it's better to just let them go through, or not defend, sort of aid their draft, let them then go in front of you and then sort of redraft it. But then again, you also have to think, are they going to defend you? What type of driver are they? Are they going to crash into you when they come through? So there's all those things to consider, and so sometimes it's better to just go for hell for leather or maximum 100%. So we're finally, look at that, that was far smoother there through that corner, but we got the track cut. It's fine though. You can get, you've got a limit to how many. You can get a few little track cuts, and you'll get a slow down. You get track cut points. If you get too many of them, it's DQ. If you go too wide, you get a slow down. But we're good. You've got to use up at least 5 of them. So look at this. Right behind us, P Sanchez, right on a tail, and then Mustinum. I'm sorry, man. Coming through now. I'm going to try and stay on the right hand side again. I've moved to the left a bit to get a better line, because I know those cars to the left of me have gone really wide. I'm a little bit understeery there. I should have broke a bit sooner. I almost drove into the side of P Sanchez. P Sanchez should be waving his fist at me, but he did a good job to get through there. My line was alright, his line was better, and now P Sanchez is on the tail of H Rayner. I'm sorry, guys, and this is the battle. Look at this weaving. We're all trying to get the absolute most out of the car, and this is really annoying. So I've put my car up the inside here, and the car on the outside is going to be like, my God, the car's going to drive into me. So he's worrying about that. Of course, I'm a nice driver, so I'm not going to drive into him. And then I go for another move up there. But the thing is, my pokey attacks here, often that's not productive. Often that's just a waste of performance. I got absolutely shunted in the arse there, and then he's pulled over. I think he felt guilty. Often, doing like pointless half attacks where you're not likely to get the overtake is a waste of time, a risk for no reason, and not worth it. But if you know you've got the pace to catch the cars in front, if you know that you're sort of, you know where the limits of the car is, and you know what you can kind of get away with, if you can do it to wind up the car in front of you, as long as you don't drive into them, you can very likely force an error for them. Now, if you're on the inside, especially on the corners where on this track where we're doing that, there's a really good chance that they're going to like run wide and go off the track. They're not going to crash into you, and as long as you've not physically driven off the track, you've just put your car in an annoying place, so they've had to take a different line. That is just racing, and that's my excuse, Your Honour. So he's gone tight through there, bounced his wheel over the grass, got a moderately slow exit. We've only got 1 minute 40 on the clock, and it's not looking good for us. We're in 4th place here, a respectable position, but I'm not happy with that. I'm in it to win it, and we do this absolute lunge bomb. That was a total dive bomb from a few football pitches out. That was really naughty. I was really lucky there. I hadn't actually calculated that. I was just lucky that the tyres gripped in before I hit the car in front. Merry Christmas. Terrible driving by me. I shouldn't have locked the wheels, basically, and I should have broke a bit earlier, and then we would have been close to them on here. But look, we've got the pace to catch back up. Make a mistake like that, we've got to put that to one side, and we've got to then be positive. We've got to forget the war crimes and move on, is what I say. Forgive and forget. We've got a yellow flag up front. I'm not sure what that's from. I think that's just from guys running wide, and that's another 7 incident points, which is fine. We go wide again. It's worth taking the incident points as long as you don't get the time penalty. And look at this, we've got a much tighter line through there. I'm really feeling the force feedback and using the force feedback to feel where the limit is on this car so that you can get faster. The force feedback is crucial for this, and I don't know why it's not in every sim. The original Assetto Corsa and Race Room are great for this. You can feel from the force feedback where the limit of the tyres is, and in a real car you can feel through the G-forces where the limit is and where it's going to be, and if you're close to it. After sliding once, you're like, okay, well that amount of force is going to push the tyres over. So, yeah, so we were absolutely pushing it based off our feel from the force feedback. And the cars in front there, P. Sanchez, H. Reiner battling, and I've now got a 0.17 second penalty. And this is the final lap we've got to get through here. H. Reiner's slow. I'll come to the left. I'm going to try and dart across the right here, line it up, find a way through. And now we've got the problem of the penalty, which we still have to serve. So I'm just going to hold my car up the inside here like a right arse, car on the outside. Look at that. He's done what I said. I've not pushed him off. He's taken a line that he's not happy with. He's gone in too fast. He didn't want to lose it to me, and he's run out of track. So we've taken that. We've just got to serve the remainder of the penalty by lifting a little bit. We've got a 0.5 gap from the car behind. We're not going to catch S. Lau, but look at that. Final lap from 5th place to 2nd place. Absolutely beautiful. And as you can see, I'm 100% calm. Literally need to get the pacemaker. Literally need the defibrillator for races like that. Totally calm. Absolutely amazing. That is why I love Race Room. This is the basic content or the starter pack, and you can do rank racing like that. This is the first Race Room race I've done in ages. Bloody fantastic. So, you know, if you enjoyed that, guys, and you want to see more racing, you want to get in the car with me, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. But until the next one, happy tea drinking, and goodbye, everyone.